The most haunted places in America. From former asylums to houses with a troubled past, these haunted locations will make anyone believe in ghosts. If you like thrills and chills, these creepy places will be right up your alley. Go on a tour or spend the night, but whatever you do, don't venture away from the group. Lincoln Square Theater. At 100 years old, it should come as no surprise that the Lincoln Square Theater has some skeletons in its closet, metaphorically speaking. One armed Red allegedly fell from the metal grid above the stage, his arm becoming stuck in a girder. His ghost now frequently haunts the stage area. Eastern State Penitentiary. Even if you don't believe in the paranormal, there's no denying that Eastern State Penitentiary has a haunting history. Over the years, upwards of 1,200 of its prisoners died, most of those from disease. As far back as 1940, officers and guards were already reporting odd noises and inmates who seemed to disappear around corners. Bell Witch Cave. The Bell Witch is one of the Southeast's most historic poltergeists whose early 1800s haunting of a rural family is still being recounted today. The witch tormented the family for years by scratching on walls, pinching people, and throwing objects around. After they moved, she sought refuge in the nearby Bell Witch Cave, where visitors can now take a candlelight tour during evenings. Red Onion Saloon. Now a restaurant and bar downstairs, the Red Onion Saloon was originally a brothel that found frequent service during the Klondike Gold Rush of the late 1800s. The Madam's Room on the second floor contains a female spirit who continues to haunt the location. Visitors can smell her perfume, walk through her cold presence, and hear the pounding of her feet as she stomps down the hall in her heels. Moon River Brewery. Savannah has been called the most haunted city in the nation, and it's places like the Moon River Brewery that show why. Still an operating brewery, the building originally served as a hospital for hundreds of people during a yellow fever outbreak. Ghost City Tours offers spooky excursions of this historic building that are sure to make your hair stand on end. Fort Mifflin. Fort Mifflin is as old as the United States and remains one of the few intact Revolutionary War battle sites that can be visited today. The center of the paranormal activity on Mud Island can be found in the casemate that housed prisoners. Visitors on ghost tours have described experiences of chest pain, instances of rocks being thrown at them, and extreme changes in temperature. Mount Misery Road. This spectral stomping ground has a paranormal history dating back to when the American Indians encountered colonials and apparently warned them to stay away from the area. Stories abound of cars becoming stalled along the road or being mysteriously moved when placed into neutral. Find out if the urban legends are true on your next road trip. Lake County History Center. The Lake County History Center is a museum for all things Ohio, but if visitors aggravate the ghost of this former home's matron, they'll be in for a rude awakening. Visitors often hear footsteps on the stairs, and some have even been stopped in their tracks, unable to climb any further for no apparent reason. That's to say nothing of the shadowy figures that dart between rooms. The Myrtles Plantation. Legend has it that this bed and breakfast is built on top of a Tunica Indian cemetery, but that hasn't stopped visitors from spending the night in its haunted rooms. Chloe, the ghost girl, can be seen on multiple occasions walking the grounds. A young girl in antebellum clothing also likes to find her way into your photographs. The Crescent Hotel. The Crescent Hotel has seen many tenants over its 130 years. Originally built as a hotel, it was later converted into a women's college and also a health resort during the late 1930s. It was during this troubled period that owner Norman G. Baker welcomed patients to undergo his health discoveries. His cures for cancer were lies, and the ghosts of patients still haunt the building to this day. Now that the Crescent is a resort again, that makes for one uneasy night of sleeping. Waverly Hills Sanatorium. During the early 1900s, the Waverly Hills Sanatorium served as a tuberculosis hospital with enough room for around 400 patients. Abandoned since 1981, tours are now offered, including overnight stays, of its haunted halls. The nurses' station in room 502 may be the most notorious. Legend has it that the head nurse hanged herself in the room while other subsequent nurses leapt to their deaths from the window. Villisca Axe Murder House. Nearly 100 years ago, neighbors awoke to find the Moore family brutally murdered by the use of an axe. Day tours and overnight stays of the house are offered, but after a ghost hunter went to the hospital for stabbing himself while alone inside the house, you can count on us checking out before sunset. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Operated as a psychiatric hospital until 1994, the Trans-Allegheny Asylum is now used only for tours by those hoping to catch a glimpse of the spirits of past patients. Apparition sightings and unexplained voices are the norm here. Visitors have even experienced being pushed up against the walls. Find more at alot.com.